From the Millersville University Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kyle Elliott.
And I'm City Meteorologist Mitch again.
Here with the medium range forecast and video discussion issued on Wednesday, October 29th. Well, Mitch, taking a look out the window, the sun is shining out there this morning. There are some pretty thick high clouds around, and that is essentially preceding a storm system that's going to bring us a beneficial 1 to 2 inches of rain tonight. And that's a good thing because, again, it's been pretty dry around here lately.
It has been dry around here. We've had the drought conditions throughout the summer and into the fall already, and it'll help us out just in general, everything, the vegetation out there, whatever. It'll help out overall.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to be in a drought really going into the winter months because
Exactly.
the winter months are actually our driest months in terms of actual liquid equivalent precipitation. So it's not good to be in a drought like this. So the rain tonight will be largely beneficial. But anyhow, that's going to get out of here tomorrow afternoon. In the wake of that storm system, it's going to get really windy on Friday. In fact, I'm expecting wind gusts up to 45 miles per hour. So this is going to be nothing like last Halloween, when it was mostly sunny and record warm, temperatures in the 80s. This one's going to be much more typical of late October. And in addition to those 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts, just make sure to keep a tight grip on the steering wheel if you do have travel plans on Halloween with those crosswinds, especially on north-south oriented highways, and be alert for blowing objects in the roadways as well. And hold on to your costumes because it's going to be a very windy day. But as we move into the weekend, the storm system responsible for tonight and tomorrow's rain is going to lift into the Canadian Maritimes. It'll be replaced by a high-pressure system that begins to settle over the southeast. As we take a look at the Euro model, it shows the same thing as the Canadian, but there are going to be some differences as we move from Sunday into early next week with these two models, and we're going to be leaning toward the European beginning on Sunday. So either way you slice it, Saturday's still going to be a breezy day with winds of 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusts up to 30 to 35 miles per hour, but it won't be nearly as windy as what we see on Halloween because the pressure gradient or difference in pressure between that low pressure system and the high pressure system begins to weaken and slacken over Pennsylvania. So as a result, the winds will be lighter on Saturday than Friday. It's still going to be a chilly day with highs in the mid-50s, but as we move into Sunday, the Canadian model and the Euro show some pretty astounding differences, to be honest, at this point. The Canadian has the high pressure system centered over the southeastern U.S., whereas the Euro has it centered over the eastern Great Lakes and the Commonwealth with a storm system developing in the Gulf. So at this point, the Canadian just doesn't seem to mesh with the overall weather pattern, so we're going to hedge our bets toward the Euro from Sunday through early next week. And if so, Sunday's going to turn out to be a pretty nice day, partly to mostly sunny. Light winds with the high nearby, and high temperatures should again be in the mid to upper 50s. So if you do have plans outdoors this weekend, just make sure to grab a jacket or sweater because it will be quite cold, especially during the morning hours with lows both nights in the 30s. But again, moving into early next week, looks pretty nice, doesn't it, Mitch?
Yeah, it does look nice. Again, like Kyle just said, that high pressure system is settled over the southern aspect of the United States, and then that low pressure system settled over the southeastern part of Canada. And again, we're going to go with the Euro on this one. We're going to kind of be sandwiched in between these two systems here. You guys can see that one over southeastern Canada still, and then that other one that was coming off the coast, coming off the Gulf of Mexico. And again, we're just going to be sandwiched here in the middle of it under high pressure. So it'll be just great conditions on Monday, probably a little bit milder than what we've been experiencing here in the past couple weeks. And then to take a look at Tuesday, finally the Canadian actually gets in the game and puts that high pressure system settle over the Ohio Valley, and that just gives us some really nice conditions continuing into Tuesday. And then looking at the Euro there, we're still kind of sandwiched in between those two systems, so we don't really have to worry about precipitation on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty nice start to the week. A lot of sunshine, a little bit milder, like Mitch said, temperatures getting back up into the low 60s. So as we take a look at the medium range forecast, taking a look at Saturday, breezy and cool with a mix of clouds and sun, high 56. Partly sunny and cool on Sunday with a high, again, of 56. And those nights are going to be rather cold as well with lows in the 30s. But as we move into early next week, mostly sunny and milder on Monday with high of 60, and then pretty similar on Tuesday, mostly sunny and quite pleasant with highs again around 60. Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Medium Range Forecast. Tune back in next week for the latest edition. Until then, again, hang on to your costumes and be safe on the roadways over the next 48 hours.